Hey everyone, welcome. Ari Fold here from the beautiful rolling hills of Judea, Israel. We are going to be talking about Parshat Nitzavim, the parsha that comes right after Ki Tetzeh Milchama. We go out to war, Ki Tavo Al Haaretz. We bring us into the land of Israel, and now Atem Nitzavim, you all are Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem. You're all standing here, Lifnei Adonai Elohechem, in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in front of God. Roshechem, Shiftechem, Ziknechem, Veshotrechem, the head of the nation, the head of the tribes, the old people, the police, Kol Ish Yisrael, right? Every man, woman, and child of Israel is standing. Well, where are we standing? What is the Torah talking about? First of all, I want to welcome everyone who's joining in. So if you are here, definitely say hello. And of course, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let's see how far and wide this is getting. I'm going to share this out on my private page as well and wait for a couple more people coming in. We are talking about, for those of you who have a Chumash, we're talking about Parshat Nitzavim and Parshat Dvarim. We're getting close to the end of the five books, the Chamishei Chumshei Torah, the five books of Moshe Rabbeinu, the Torah, which on Simchat Torah, right after Chag Sukkot, which is, I believe, others call Tabernacle, we will be celebrating the finishing of all five books of Moshe, the Chamishei Chumshei Torah, and we'll be starting over again, Mi Bereshit. So this week, we are going to be talking about the Parshat Nitzavim. Chicago's in the house. Hey, Evo, how are you? If you are tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. And don't forget that share button. Let's invite some people in. We're going to get started on the Parsha in exactly another minute or so. I'm just going to invite Alabama here. Awesome. Shalom Marianne from Holland. France is in the house. Welcome everyone. We are going to get started in exactly half a minute. All right, so invite some people in and let's get moving. Yiddi is in the house. Hey, how are you, Yiddi? We're going to have a special at the end. We're going to be talking about Rosh Hashanah, a very quick Rosh Hashanah blessing, bracha for everyone. So definitely stick around, and here we go. Who else? David, how are you? Shalom from Hemet, California. Awesome. Shalom from the Netherlands. Welcome everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. Okay, we are talking now about Parshat Nitzavim. Again, for those of you who are not here in the beginning, by the way, if you do share it out, let me know. Thank you, Jessica, for sharing it out. I really appreciate it. Lydia, welcome. So we're talking about Parshat Nitzavim, and this is coming at the end of Sefer Dvarim, the end of Deuteronomy. Batsheva from London, tuning from the Holy Land. Awesome. Welcome, Batsheva. Okay, so we're talking about Parshat Nitzavim here. Again, we're talking about in terms of the Torah. We have Ki Tetzeh Milchama, you go out to war. Ki Tavo Al Haaretz, you come into the land of Israel. And all of a sudden, there's this Parsha, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem. You're all standing here. Well, what are you standing for? In other words, the standing is before, right? Stand, get ready, plan out. Now you're in the land of Israel. You got to plant, you got to work, you got to get things done. Now's the time to stand? What's going on here? So it says, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem. You're all, the whole nation of Israel, standing in front of me. Lifnei Adonai Elohechem, in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in front of God. And then it goes in. Roshechem, Shiftechem, the head of your tribes, the head of the people. Ziknechem, the old people, the wise people. Shotrechem, the police. Kol Ish Yisrael. Every single man, woman, and child of Israel. Right? Okay. That's inclusive, right? It's inclusive. Everybody. Wait, it doesn't stop yet. Tapchem, your children. Neshechem, your women. Gercha shebekerev machanecha, the converts who are in Israel. Mi chotev etzecha, from those who are tree cutters. I guess tree cutters back then was a kind of like a lowly trade. So from your tree cutters, ad shoev mimecha, from those who are taking water out of the wells. Okay? And the question is, it already said, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem. All of you are here. Why does it have to go into such details here? Right? Why does it have to go from the president or the head of your nation down to those who are carrying water in your tree cutters? What is the purpose of bringing everybody in here? Just say Kulchem, everybody. Enough. The Torah doesn't waste words. We know that. So why is the word Kulchem? Why isn't that enough? So what is everyone standing around for? Well, first of all, we all had a goal of coming to the land of Israel, and we made it to the land of Israel, right? So the question is, we just go, right? You made it into the country, just go, just do. Act like everyone else. The Torah says, no. You've made it into the land of Israel, stop. And just stand for a second. And now we have to target what we want in the land that we came into. Okay, what do we want to do here now? Yes, we were promised the land, and yes, now we're here. Hold it for a second. Before you go on into your regular habit of life, what are you doing here? Do we want to make just another country like America, France, England, or is there something special here? And the Torah goes on and says the following. After it goes and it gives a whole list of people, equality for all, from the most important person, quote unquote, in the nation to the lowly tree cutters and water barriers. And again, this, I don't really mean that, but it was from classes, from the most important to the least important, quote unquote. Why is the Torah going into this? And it says, L'ovracha bivrit Adonai Elohecha uve'alto, to bring you under the covenant of a Kadosh Baruch Hu and under the curse, to bring you into this deal that we're making with God. Asher Adonai Elohecha koratim chayom, what God is making this covenant with you today, back in the day there, over there, right? Why is it saying everybody's here? What's the point? And it says, Leman hakim otcha hayom lo la'am, in order to make you today a nation to God, v'hu yeh lecha le'elohim, and He will be a God for you. As He told to you and as He swore to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Okay? So the point is, it sounded like classes, right? From the president to the lowlives. No, that's not what it's saying here. It's inclusive of everyone. Everybody's equal in the eyes of God, is what the pasuk is saying, what the passage is saying here. But not just everyone is equal, as we're all worth something. Every human being in the world is worth something. We know that already from Adam Rishon. We know that from Adam, the first man created in our whole existence. The Torah asks, why was Adam, why was one man created? Why did they create all like a nation? Why did God create like 50 people or 100 people? And the answer back in Bereshit in Genesis was the idea that if it's one man, we understand that all humanity comes from a spark of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, comes a spark of God, and therefore everybody's important. That's not what it's saying here. It's not saying everybody's equal in terms of value. Everybody's equal in terms of value. We know that already from Bereshit. Here, it's talking about the nation of Israel. It's saying everybody's equal in terms of responsibility. You're all here today. It says you've entered the land of Israel. And now you're all being brought into this covenant. From men, women, children, from the people who are CEOs of big companies to anyone who's, cleaning the streets. Okay? Everyone's value, but now the responsibility is equal between the people. And then it goes on, and it says, not only with you people here back in the desert time is a kadosh. I'm not only making this covenant with you people, but it says here, the people who are here now, in front of God back in Har Sinai after Har Sinai, and people who are not here. Well, who is not here? Me. Those of you watching. This covenant was not made for the generation in the desert or the generation in Har Sinai. Mamash not. It wasn't the responsibility on them, those who experienced Egypt, those who experienced Har Sinai. No, it's not what the Torah says. The Torah says the equality of responsibility is not only on the nation who were there in the Midbar and there in saw the Egypt and all that. No, for all future generations. All future generations. Now, today I could say, well, I don't remember Egypt. I don't remember Har Sinai, right? We're not going to go into how do we prove it, but we're not going to go into that right now. But I could say, look, I don't remember Har Sinai now, and I have a hard time believing. It's difficult, right? So then Pasuk in Yud Chet, in Perek Kaftet, it's 28, Pasuk Yud Chet, when you hear the curse that will come about us, God forbid, if we don't keep to the moral code of the Torah, Vidbarech bilvavo, the person will hear the curse and say, you know what, 1 second. Let me give myself a pat on the back. Vidbarech bilvavo means he's going to fill up, he's going to bless his own heart, meaning I'll take care of it. Shalom yeli, I'll be okay. Peace will be for me. I'll be okay. Ki b'shirut libi elech, I'm going to go with my own strength. I heard you, God, thank you. I'm going to go with my own strength. Shirut libi, with the strength of my heart. I'm going to do what I want to do. Leman tzvat harava et atzmea. Right, I'll deal with it. I'll quench the thirst. Everything will be fine. I'll work hard. I'll go to school, and all those things are very important, by the way, in Judaism. But he's saying I don't have to really rely on that moral code of the Torah. Lo yoveh Adonai slach lo. This is a kind of action that says here will not get repentance. Lo yoveh Adonai slach lo. Hashem will, Kadosh Baruch Hu, God will not forgive him. Ki az yashan af Adonai v'kinato ba'isha hu. Basically, Kadosh Baruch Hu will be furious with this person. And it says that all the curses in this book in the Torah will be thrown on that person. Umachat Adonai et shmo tachat hashamayim, and this person's name will be erased for all eternity. What's the problem here? What, just because he says, I'll do it myself? Or what? What about someone who bows down to idols, right? What about someone who I don't know, eats pig, or, in terms of Jews, non-Jews, you're allowed to eat whatever you want. But if someone who doesn't keep the Jewish laws, isn't that worse than someone who says, I will do it on my own? So no, the person who sins, and I'm talking intentionally sinning, if the person sins, he could fix that sin, right? I went out and I ate something that wasn't kosher. Okay, so I can say I won't do it again. But the person who convinces his heart to say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to convince him that I'll be okay, that's not a sin of action. That's a sin of belief. And once you convince yourself of that sin of belief, it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, almost to turn around. And therefore, that person is going to be, his name's going to be wiped out from history. That doesn't mean killing him. That means that Kadosh Baruch Hu will say he'll be erased from history. Now, the punishments come. We know that. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you so much. The punishments are coming, right? If we don't accept the Torah, we don't do what we're supposed to do. And then, a very interesting passage comes here in the Parshat Nitzavim, in Pasuk Kaf Gimel 23. V'amru kol hagoyim. All the nations of the world will say, not the Jews. All the nations of the world will say, Ameh aseh Adonai kacha la'aretz hazot. The nations of the world are going to turn to the land of Israel, which will be desolate, due to the fact that the Jewish people, the nation of Israel, did not keep to the code of ethics of the Torah. The nations of the world will turn to the land and say, why did God do such a horrible thing to this holy land? And by the way, this happened. Mark Twain said it. Mark Twain in the 1800s, he came to Jerusalem, he said, this is not a holy place, this is a desolate place. He wrote not terrible, mean things, but terribly graphic things about the promised land, the holy land, which sounded like it was a garbage dump. So the Goyim are going to say, the nation of the world are saying, why did God do this to this land? What caused this tremendous anger to cause the land of Israel to be desolate? V'amru, al asher azvu et brit Adonai Elohei avutam, because the nation of Israel left the covenant of their fathers, that God basically made the Jewish people when we left Egypt. That's why the land gets destroyed. We cannot continue in the land of Israel if we're trying to say, well, we'll do it on our own. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't have an army, and that doesn't mean we shouldn't have helicopters and planes and guns. No, of course. Judaism does not believe in living in a cave. Absolutely not. We believe in being part of the world. But the question is, we go to the doctor, and we also have to say thank you to the doctor when they take care of us, right? But at the end of the day, before we go into that doctor, before we go into that surgery, whatever we do, we say, God, Kadosh Baruch Hu, please help us, or we say, I'll be okay. If you say I'll be okay, that's the problem we're talking about here. So you have to be in this world, but at the end of the day, you have to understand that everything's b'yedei Shamayim, everything's in Kadosh Baruch Hu's hands. Now, at the end of the day, it says here that the nation of Israel is going to do repentance, we will not be destroyed. And then it says something that follows. V'shav Adonai Elohecha et shvutcha v'richamecha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will return your return. Very strange pasuk. It says, V'shav Adonai Elohecha et shvutcha v'richamecha. Hashem will return your return and return the compassion on you. What is this? And then it says V'shav, and again, will return v'kibetzcha mikol amim, and will return the Jewish nation from all the nations. Hashem v'tzcha Adonai Elohecha shama. That a Kadosh Baruch Hu spread the Jewish nation around the world, he'll bring it back. So what does that mean? The natural state of Am Yisrael is in the land of Israel. The Jewish people belong in the land of Israel. That is the natural state of things. The way that a child belongs at home, so too the nation of Israel belongs in the land of Israel. That is the natural state of the world. If we are not in the land of Israel, that is not natural. It's something wrong. Okay? So for 2,000 years we dreamed of it, and we now came back. But it says also the national state of the world is that the Jewish people be up and up. And if we're not up and up, something's wrong with our behavior. At the end of the day, though, Hashem will return that return to the original thing, and will return his compassion to the nation of Israel, and return us to the land of Israel. And it says, even if we're on the farthest place, Ethiopia, the Iron Curtain, Yemen, Germany, okay, the farthest place doesn't only mean distance-wise, farthest places in terms of, can you imagine, I don't know about anyone here watching, I don't know how old people are watching here, but I remember growing up and saying, let the Jews out of the Iron Curtain, out of the Soviet Union. I remember demonstrating in Washington, getting Anatoly Sharansky, Natan Sharansky, of course, out of jail. I remember, demonstrating weekly to get the Jews. To think that Jews from the Soviet Union were moving in hundred thousands to the land of Israel is mind-blowing. To think that Ethiopian Jews who I didn't even know about growing up came back to the land of Israel is a miracle. You think about that you have Yemenite Jews and Jews from America, England, coming together in the land of Israel is a miracle. It's something that for 2,000 years would have sounded impossible. So we're seeing this right here. It says, even you're in the farthest place, the corner or even the heavens, Kadosh Baruch will bring you back. And we see that happening today. What's interesting, by the way, in the Bracha and Shemona Esrei, we say, Mikabetz nidchei amo Yisrael. That a Kadosh Baruch Hu, God will bring back the nidachim, those who are outcasts, will bring them back to the nation, the land of Israel. Well, what about everyone else? Well, everybody else has got to get on a plane. I mean, it's the Bracha. Mikabetz nidchei amo Yisrael means gather the nidachim, the outcasts, back to the land of Israel. Everybody else, get on a flight and come home. Okay, so then it talks about here that we're coming back. Now, this is interesting now. But the problem is, okay, I hear the blessing, I hear the curse, I hear the warnings. But it's so hard. It's difficult. All these laws, and it's so crazy how you wake up, how you put your shoes on, praying 3 times a day, what you eat, everything in a Jewish person's life is defined. So difficult. You look at the mountain, you say, I can't climb that. I can't climb that. So the Torah says the following. This is probably the Masha, how are you? Wow. So it says the following. Ki hamitzvah zot, this commandment, the Torah, asher anochi mitzavcha hayom, that I command you today, lo nifletei, it's not some kind of amazement. Lo nifletei mimcha, it's not far away from you. It's not like, oh, it's over there. It's for those people. Lo rechokai, it's not distant from you. Lo b'shamayim, it's not in the heavens. Oh, that's for someone else. Keeping kosher, keeping Shabbat. Oh, those are for the religious heavenly people, right? It's not in the heavens that people should say, "Mi aleh lanu shamayim v'yikachenu lanu." Who's going to go up to the heavens to bring back these Jewish laws? V'lo me'ever layam. It's not across the sea. Someone would say, "Mi avor lanu te'ever hayam." Who's going to cross that tremendous sea? V'yikachenu lanu, and then we'll listen to it and we'll do it. It's not. It's not in the heavens. It's not in the mountains. It's not far away. Ki karov elecha devar me'od. It's extremely close to you. Now, how do you do it? What's the secret? The secret is like everything else in life. Baby steps. Baby steps. You have the goal, right? If someone wants to climb a mountain, you know you want to get to the peak. Anyone who's done mountain climbing or marathon running or biking for long distances, you know where the finish line is. I know that the finish line is whatever it is, 26 miles ahead. I know that. But if I'm worried about the 26 miles, you're never going to get there. Look up Mount Everest. You look up, oh my God, I can't climb that. So you don't do that. It's very close to you. Look at the next step. Look at the next step, right? Whatever you're not keeping today, fine. Have a goal to become more observant, but look at the next step. I'm going to start eating kosher. I'm going to start, keeping Shabbat a little bit. I'm going to stop using my car on Shabbat. Whatever it is, and of course you need help with it. You need to go. You find people in your area who are religious, rabbis, whatnot. But don't look at the peak. Don't look at the apex. That's not the way to go in life. You have the goal. Look at the next step. Ki karov elecha me'od. It's extremely close to you. Okay, well, what's the motivation? Well, what's the motivation for finishing a marathon? What's the motivation for finishing a triathlon? What's the motivation of doing anything that looks difficult in life? Well, you have your eye on the goal, but you're worrying about your next step. So here it says the following. What's the motivation? God says, look, I have put in front of you today, hayom, et ha'chaim ve'et ha'tov, life and goodness, ve'et ha'mavet ve'et ha'ra, and death and evil. I put it in front of you. It's your choice. It's your choice. The idea is the following. Who are we? What's left of us? Our actions define us. Our beliefs define us. Who are we? So I'm sure that everybody here in themselves and their children want to be good. Everybody wants to be good. That's the goal. I've given in front of you the moral code. There's good in life and there's evil and death. And so that's the motivation. we're not just more intelligent monkeys or more intelligent cockroaches or dogs. We're human beings, and therefore human beings have a soul. And that soul has moral consequence. A dog does not have moral consequence. If one dog bites another dog or attacks another dog, we don't say you're going to jail. Dogs don't have moral consequence. They have nature. We have moral consequence because we have a soul. And therefore, we are more valuable on a morality level than animals are. That's our goal. I've given in front of you good in life and bad, evil and death. What do you want to be? A dog with 2 legs? A cow that's able to talk? Or do you want to be something more spiritual and more valuable in life? And so Kadosh Baruch Hu, God says to us, I look, it's obvious. You're human, you have a soul. I put in front of you life and goodness or death and evil. You choose. That's the motivation. How do I do it? One step at a time. But always move forward. I remember when I was in 11th grade, I think, or 12th grade, one of my rabbis once told me that life is like a very slippery slope. And so if you're climbing up, if you try to run up, you're going to slide down. Jump, you're going to slide down. Take one step at a time, slowly, but keep climbing up. Eventually, you're going to look back and say, wow, I've really accomplished a lot, but it's not the end. I tell my students often that, they like to become religious really quickly. And I say, guys, can't do that. You're at the end of a frozen pond, and you got to get to the other side. If you start running, you're pounding the ice, it's going to break, and you're going to fall in and drown. If you try to jump across, it's going to take you through jumps, you're going to hit the ice too hard, you're going to fall in and drown. You got to slide across slowly. Yes, the goal is the other side of the pond. Slide across slowly. Know what you're taking on. Don't go crazy. Okay, always have a goal to move forward. But it's got to be slow and easy. Okay, so here it says, I've given you life and goodness and death and evil. You choose. That's the motivation. How to do it? One step. It's very close to you. Now, what's the emotions behind this? What if I don't want to get up in the morning for davening? What if I don't want to, I don't know what. It's hard for me. I haven't kept Shabbos all my life. It's not true. I did. Let's say someone doesn't. Keep it on. It's very difficult. So the answer, according to the Torah, and it goes on, it says it again. I've given witness in front of you at the Shamayim v'ta'aretz, the heavens and the land and the earth. Life and death. I've given in front of you the choice. Blessing and curse. Choose life. Choose goodness. Choose morality. Not what you think. Lo b'shut libi. Not what I believe. Well, I'll do fine. No, there's a moral code here. And why? Leman tichiyat tavazerach. In order that you will survive. You and your children will survive. It's specifically talking about the land of Israel, but it's obviously generic also. And what's the key? To have love, it said love, love for Kadosh Baruch Hu, and to stick to Kadosh Baruch Hu. So how do you stick to something that's invisible, that can't be seen? So Chazal, Jewish sages say that we know that a Kadosh Baruch Hu is Rachum v'Chanun, we know it's compassionate, we know we have the traits that are written for us in traits of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, emulate those traits. Hu Rachum v'Chanun, afatat Yerachum. He's compassionate, so you to be compassionate. Kihu chayecha is your life, orach yamecha, and the substance of your life. The shevet al adama sheishba Adonai lavatet laAvram tzak liYaakov latet lehem. Our survival in Israel, in the land of Israel, is actually dependent on how we act. If we do not accept this moral code, and again, it doesn't mean everyone's going to, no, we have to do it be'ahava, we have to do it with love. If you're rebuking someone, you can't rebuke them just smacking them in the face. You got to do it with love. If you don't actually have compassion for someone, and you're trying to correct them, you don't have compassion for them, you don't love them, you shouldn't even give them rebuke. You're not even allowed to give them rebuke, according to Judaism. Right? The same way that you give your children rebuke. You don't scream at them because you hate them. Oh, you're a terrible person. You rebuke them because you want them to fix themselves. So it's got to be with love, otherwise it doesn't work. So here it says, but the fact of the matter is that our whole survival in the land of Israel depends on our actions and our behavior. And again, the idea is not to look at the evil and the negative and say, oh, it's terrible, we're doing horribly. No, it's look what we can fix. Build the world. Don't, there are people around who see the boat and there's a hole. Oh, there's a hole in the boat. They're screaming. There's a hole in the boat. There's a hole in the boat. They're just screaming at everyone. And then there's the person who takes their fist and fills up the hole and says, all right, you keep screaming, I'm going to fix this. Our goal is to fix things, not to scream about what's wrong. All right, people, that's about it. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. One other thing I need everyone's help for right now. Everyone listen up very carefully. November, I am planning a U.S. speaking tour about Israel. Obviously, anyone who wants to do all the religious-based stuff also can do that as well. But I'm coming to America on a speaking tour. The tour is basically talking about diplomacy versus honesty and truth. Why the world has chosen diplomacy over honesty, and why the two-state solution has always been part of the problem. What does Israel have to do to win the PR war, and how to reclaim the narrative and start fighting for truth. I'm redefining how we look at Israel, how we look at the conflict in the area, in ways that have been forgotten, not because they're not known, but because people have chosen diplomacy over morality and facts and truth. So I'm coming to North America. My planned trip is New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the area, down North Carolina, Florida. Texas has now called me. They might want to come out to them. Illinois has called me. They want to come out to them. Some people from the West Coast have called me. If you want to set something up in your area, and I truly think that you should do that, it'll really be a game changer. It'll be a game changer for you, your community, how you think about Israel. And if we don't do this now, no one's going to do it for us. So I'm asking everyone out there, whatever community you are in, Natalie, I'm there to work. Okay, I'm going to be there for probably for 2 weeks. I will be flying out wherever I got to go to have a venue and to speak and to read divine things. So if wherever you are in the United States, if you want me coming to that area, please send me a private message and let's do this. The Chag is coming on Sunday, so we don't have a lot of time before the Chag, but we need to set this up. Every place that I go, we need a sponsor and a venue. I will come out anywhere. I'm there to work. I'm where to reclaim the narrative and start fighting for truth. So wherever you are in North America, I'm asking all of you to get involved. Write me private messages, tag people in who can set things up, and we'll get this done. All right, everyone, wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom, have an awesome weekend, those wherever you are in the world. God bless, and please hit the like button, share this out. Don't forget to like the page. Let's get it up to 20,000, all right? And that's about it. God bless. This is Ari Fultz from the beautiful rolling hills of Judea, Israel. Take care, everyone.